What is up, everybody? It's FerociousWraith back with a new video. Today I'd like to discuss a very unwell kept secret in the world of gaming, that being Injustice 3, the follow-up to Injustice Gods Among Us and Injustice 2 from NetherRealm Studios for Warner Brothers Games. This is something that hasn't exactly been kept secret because there's been a couple of leaks from said voice actors. I won't go too far into details about any of that, but I think it's fair to say after we've had two Mortal Kombat games in a row, and the last one, that being Mortal Kombat 1, not exactly, going crazy. Only lasting not even 2 years before they pulled the plug on the game. Now, before Mortal Kombat 1 was announced, there was a bit of a pattern with NetherRealm Studios. They used to go from Injustice to Mortal Kombat, back to Injustice 2, and then another Mortal Kombat. Except for some reason they decided to double up on Mortal Kombat and just kind of rush a game quickly out the door that didn't exactly meet everybody's needs. Now, Mortal Kombat 1 I think, had a lot of good potential and a very good roster, but I do think they mishandled a lot of things, especially being the offline suite, and just in general, rushing things, keeping the cameos as they were, and just, not really giving the game enough support. And that's where Injustice 3 comes in, because now it seems like NetherRealm has to go back to something else. I think there's a tiny bit of Mortal Kombat fatigue from some, and we haven't exactly gotten an Injustice game in years. Now, at the time of this video, DC has been skyrocketing in popularity. You've had the likes of the Batman movies. You've had the DCU be launched by James Gunn with a very successful Superman movie, an awesome show like Peacemaker, and even you could argue the Suicide Squad having ties to that as well. Now, with all that popularity and all the excitement, I do believe Injustice 3 more than ever is relevant today, and I think it's finally going to happen. And I'll tell you, I am very excited for Injustice 3, as I've been having a lot of fun picking the game back up recently, playing with my friend SixTuber, shout out to him, JTG as well, another guy on YouTube. I've been really having a lot of fun playing with those guys and just learning how to play the game more competitively than I did before, as I usually just played casually and just mainly went for new costumes, which will bring me to exactly what I'm about to talk about, which is Injustice 3 and what I'd like to see from the game going forward. We unfortunately lost Kevin Conroy, and that has been something that a lot of people have had reservations on, thinking that maybe we shouldn't do an Injustice 3 without Kevin, and that's definitely valid. Kevin Conroy is absolutely the best Batman there has ever been, and nobody will exactly be able to replicate anything that he did. He is Batman, but I believe no character should be locked to a certain actor forever. And I do think everyone should get the chance to play a comic book character. I think it's just one of those things that deserves to have the torch passed around. And that's why I do think Batman will most likely have a new voice actor and be recast. So my personal take is I would have obviously just wished we could have Kevin voicing him, but I'm willing to accept anyone else who takes over the role because I love Batman, and I don't want to just surrender to the fact that I'll never get to see more Batman projects just because, we unfortunately lost someone. So I'm ready for whoever takes on the cowl next. Injustice 3, I think, needs to happen, and I want to talk about customization. To me, this is the most important thing that I think Injustice 3 needs to get right. I think Injustice 2 was, in my opinion, the best when it comes to customization and loadouts that you could have in an NRS video game, Injustice 2 had just incredible customization, bottom to top, so many different layers that you could add, and 5 loadouts you could make in order to just kind of have a little fun with it, kind of make your own little fan fictions, if you will, of what each loadout meant to you. And that's definitely something I want to see return, because I believe Mortal Kombat 1 had a bit of a problem where they just kind of limited it to you just have the one loadout and you have 3 different things to choose from, but you couldn't just make different loadouts and, choose different costumes. It felt very limiting in Mortal Kombat 1. So the first thing I want to see in Injustice 3 would not only be the return of full customization with loadouts, I want to see better customization. As much as I love Injustice 2's customization, I think it was way too heavily focused on armor and just kind of repetitive pieces, and you couldn't really make any good costumes with some characters. I think Injustice 1 had a really awesome thing with all these different costumes from movies and games. Like you had the Arkham City Batman, you had the Man of Steel Superman. So I'd kind of like a good little mix, because Injustice 2 had premiere characters that would completely change how you look. So I think that would be the best compromise, is to use that premiere skin system in order to make characters look exactly like they do in movies and shows. Because what better way to pay tribute to Batman than to take cues from something like Lego Batman Legacy The Dark Knight, which I'm very excited for, and just give us every Batman costume that you could ever ask for. The Batman, The Dark Knight, Batman vs. Superman. You could even do the DCU Batman if we somehow see him soon. Michael Keaton, like the list goes on. Arkham games would be an absolute amazing thing, and Adam West. Give us the option to either look like a movie character or a show character or a video game character, but also give us the option to make our own costumes. And I think that would just really help benefit the game going forward if the grind for unlocking new gear would feel rewardable and it would never get old. Because as much as I love something like MKX, there was only so much you could do in that game because it was just, costumes. See, I think alternate costumes are very important as well, but I do love the idea of making your own stuff too. That's kind of why I think both need to be its own thing. So, with that being said, I hope customization is good. Now, the next most important thing that I think Injustice 2 needs to get right is offline suite. By that, I think I would like to see more modes for us to do offline. When I talk about this, I harken back all the way to games like Mortal Kombat Deception. Games that let us do more than just towers of fighting enemies and grinding for gear. I hope Injustice 3 takes a new approach to this, and this is where I'm going to add another fun caveat to what I want from Injustice 3. I'd love to see tag team mode make its comeback. Now, I don't like cameos in MK1 because I don't really feel like it's a proper tag team system. I just think it's another way to make combos even more tedious, as if you're watching a fucking loading screen, especially when you use the likes of someone like Serena. I mean, come on, guys. MK1 was just way too tedious learning two different rosters and how to make them work. What I prefer is a two-player tag team mode that you could even do online, where you could either fight people or bots, and have like towers for that too. Just imagine it. This is a superhero game. It is a no-brainer to have tag teams in a superhero game, am I right? Look at like Multiverses, for example. Now that game failed, but I think it had the right idea by letting us have tag team mode as well. Because that game decided to focus a lot on 2v2 battles, and to me that's where it shined. Because I don't know about you guys, but I loved playing with a friend on Multiverses, even if the game was a pile of horse shit. There was still a lot of fun to be had, So I hope Tag Team makes its return. I'd also like to see some more fun stuff, like MK11 had a crypt that you could explore. Now I think that would be a fun little idea to have, maybe for a little hub section, where you could discover things. You could do something like Arkham Asylum for some fun little thing to explore and find secrets. You could always do a small section of Gotham. You could do something in Metropolis. I just think that'd be a lot of fun, just exploring a little tiny realm and, finding secrets, unlocking new costumes. That's just the type of shit that I miss. And, no, I'm not going to just sit here and wish every single NRS game was just focused on competitive fighting and having the best systems of gameplay. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. As much as I love their gameplay, and I think each game does its own justice when it comes to that, I don't really care too hard about the gameplay. I actually love playing these games just mainly to have fun with the lore and playing as my favorite characters and just getting wrapped up in the world and just finding different ways to play. That's why I love Deception, because you would have stuff like, the standard story, which you could roam around in, which was awesome. You had the chess combat, which was absolutely bonkers, but that type of thing would be so fun to see come back in another game. You had the puzzle combat. I mean, come on, a little puzzle game even be fun in Injustice. Like, come on, man. Like, throw me a bone with that stuff. And then the crypt, you have the crypt that you could just go around and have fun with too. the point is, I just think having only one mode to really grind offline like multiverse or towers is boring. There needs to be more ways to play. Surely I can't be wrong in that. Now, expecting all that in Injustice 3, yeah, that's probably crazy, but damn it, this is my list, and whether it's a list or not or a rant, I don't know. I just want things like that in a NRS game. I wish they'd take cues from the Midway era and just go back to having fun. What happened to fun? Why did it have to get so serious? Why so serious with all the competitive gaming stuff, the esports? I just think we lost the fun factor. I do want gameplay to be good. That would be another thing that I'd like to talk about here. Some people are wondering if it should be a legacy fighter with all the same gameplay from Injustice 1 and 2, or a brand new system. Now, I'm a bit mixed on this. I don't really have any preference, because I think it would be fun to have different moves and different, things to learn about characters that you've known for years, especially considering it's been so long since Injustice 2, but honestly, I'm a bit indifferent. I mostly just want the customization to be good. I want the offline modes to keep me playing for years, and that's where I get to my third point. I want the support for this game to not just die. I'm tired of these Look, I'm not going to swear, but I'm tired of NRS just canceling a game after 2 years, if not less, than giving it support for years to come. Especially in a universe as big as DC. We could be getting characters for a lifetime if they actually gave it the chance to breathe and live, rather than just like, we did our Combat Pack 1 and 2, time for the next game. I don't like that. That's boring, Why can't we have a game that goes forever? I just think it kind of goes back to that whole stop killing games movement that was going on, to where it just sucks that you can't commit to one game for too long. Injustice 3 will probably last for a couple years, and then it's time for Mortal Kombat 2, I guess. The third or fourth Mortal Kombat 2? Oh, don't get me started on Mortal Kombat right now, I swear to God. But yeah, as far as the story goes, because I do think I should talk a little bit about story here in this rant. Honestly, I do hope we get some form of redemption for Superman. Obviously, you can't really redeem that Superman. There really is no way. But I do hope they do take some aspects of what would work. Like in that Injustice movie that was kind of garbage, I did kind of like that another Lois from a different universe made him see sense. I kind of like that. I'd like for Superman to just, really see the error of his ways, and whether he can, be redeemed or not, I'd hope he just starts, realizing, yeah, I did fucked up shit. I killed fucking Shazam, for fuck's sake. Shud dead, am I right? Come on, man. Redeem my boy Superman. We cannot see more evil Superman. I hope and pray that's they just stop the evil Superman trope and give us Superman that we know and love. But now I'd like to get something fun, because I don't got a lot to say about story since we really don't know where it would go. We'd hope that they address the cliffhangers that we had in Injustice 2, maybe go to some fun new villain like Darkseid, but I want to go to some characters I'd like to see in Injustice 3. So, I'm going to give you a little list right now. If I could bring back certain characters or bring new characters into the fold, I'd want to see Scarecrow again because I loved that son of a bitch in Injustice 2. I want to see Raven make a comeback because we really didn't get enough Raven. I want Beast Boy. I want Constantine. I want King Shark. I'd like to see more Batman villains like Penguin or Riddler. I think that'd be fun. I'd like to see Clayface. Hell, I'd even entertain bringing back characters that have already been in Mortal Kombat, like the Invincible characters or the Boys characters. But yeah, that's just a few that I'd like to go over. But sound off in the comments section. Who would you like to see return or make their first appearance in Injustice 3? Sound off in the comments below. Anyways, I don't got much else to add, so that's about all I got for y'all today on Injustice 3. I really hope this game gets announced soon because, damn it, it's been leaked to hell already, and honestly, I'm really excited for it, knowing that we haven't really had any new Arkham games, or we had that canceled Wonder Woman game, no Superman game. So it's high time we got something from DC, and it seems like Injustice 3 is about the closest we can get to something new, as well as Lego Batman Legacy: The Dark Knight. I think there's a lot to be excited about in the realm of DC, and anyways, thank you for tuning in. I know it's been a while. I haven't been feeling 100%, so I've just been trying to find the energy to go forth with my plans. I know I had the plans that I laid out in the last video, but we're going to see where that goes. I just really hope I find the motivation to, go forth with everything again. But thank you all who have subscribed to me recently, and I'm going to do some new stuff soon, including a follow-up to the Lonely Battinson, so stay tuned for that. Thank you. Have a good one.